630-6333 or visit blacklabelbuilt.com for a free consultation.
Let's turn your backyard dreams into reality.
Black Label Built, built to serve, built to last.
Your home is your empire. Protect it with Empire Fence. Get a free instant quote with the online estimating tool at empire-fence.com. See an upfront estimate with no hidden fees. An Empire Fence can provide privacy and improve the appearance of your home. Keep kids and pets in or out of your yard. Increase security and add value to your property. Visit empire-fence.com now to view the stylish and maintenance-free possibilities for your home and get a free instant online quote. Let Empire Fence protect your empire.
It's that special time of year again with bowl games galore, ugly Christmas sweater parties, and way too much eggnog. And like clockwork, you still haven't bought any gifts yet. Great news! Your procrastination headquarters this year is at Tailored Life in Bennett. Avoid the long lines in Lincoln stores and head down Highway 2 to Bennett, just a 20-minute drive, and their staff will help you pick out the perfect gift for your mom, wife, or significant other. Procrastination has an answer this year at Tailored Life in Bennett.
When you were a kid, clubs were cool. Robotics club and space club and stuff like that. But what do adults get? Book clubs and quilting clubs? Nah, forget that. How about margarita clubs and old-fashioned clubs? Get to Upside Bar and Lounge for the best clubs in town. Try all 10 varieties of Upside margaritas or old fashions and take home a free souvenir glass. Grab the whole crew and pair it with taco night on Mondays or whiskey Wednesdays. Upside Bar and Lounge at 29th and Pine Lake.
This holiday season, give yourself the ultimate gift, self-care and peace of mind. We know the holidays can bring stress, but did you know that managing that stress is key to your heart health? High blood pressure and heart disease can be impacted during this busy time. In fact, heart attacks are more common during the holidays. So take a moment for yourself. Breathe, relax, and prioritize your well-being. Search Chronic Disease Nebraska to learn more. Paid for by Nebraska DHHS, aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Welcome into the locker room, the most sacred of spaces in sports. Talking you through the behind-the-scenes conversations that happen behind closed doors. With former Nebraska football tight end Chancellor Brewington.
Chancellor Brewington, the 6-year senior tight end, finding his way into the end zone.
And former South Dakota State running back and Nebraska football assistant Mikey Daniel.
Hand off to Daniel inside the 2 to the 1, and he powers his way into the end zone for a South Dakota State touchdown.
This is The Locker Room, brought to you by Ep Foundation Repair. Here are your hosts, Chancellor Brewington and Mikey Daniel.
Yes, welcome into the locker room here on 93.7 The Ticket. Another great week of programming ahead. Chancellor Brewington in studio with us now. Chancellor, how was your weekend? How's it going?
Man, this weekend was great, man. It was awesome, man. Just to relax and get back at it. Me and Rico had a great show on Friday. We were talking about the Heisman stuff, and we'll get into that. And you know, some portal names that left Nebraska are now at some pretty big schools, and you know, maybe some people didn't expect that, some people did. We'll get into that. We'll get into, you know, the Pinstripe Bowl coming up, and all that good stuff. But usually we start off with a quote card, and I just didn't last week. I don't know why, but we're gonna get back into it. This is a quote from one of the books I reviewed. It's called U Squared. Price Pritchard, he does an amazing job. I would say explaining what a quantum leap is. But in it, there's a chapter called Focus on the Ends Rather Than the Means. And he says you don't have to know how you're going to get there. You need to know where you want to go. And I think so many times we get in this place of, we think so, like, I would say the word would be like objectively on like our current circumstances. And we let those circumstances define like who we are first, but also like where we want to go and like the things we want based on like where we are. Man, if one of my favorite UFC fighters is Conor McGregor, and the way he talks about his journey of, you know, being in, you know, Ireland and all, you know, Dublin and all that good stuff to you know, and not having much, but dreaming every night of him being a champion, of him driving he talks about a soft top Bentley with a push start engine, like, you know what I'm saying? But if he was to think objectively on what he saw in his current circumstances, his current reality, man, he would have never got there. And there's also another amazing quote. It's by Albert Einstein. He says the intuitive mind is a sacred gift and the rational mind is a faithful servant. We have created a society that honors the servant mind, and has forgotten the gift. We will not solve the problems of the world from the same level of thinking we were at when we created them. More than anything else, this new century demands new thinking. We must change our material based analysis of the world around us to include broader, more multi-dimensional perspective. But basically what he's saying is we've been conditioned to use what we see, use like, my hands, all these different things we see with our senses, and let that infiltrate our, we talked about self-image on here, self-image, our goals and what we want in life. But I truly believe, and I'll challenge you to look past that, and to really, broaden your horizons and, consume new information that pushes your paradigm, that pushes your comfort zone, and helps you make decisions. So that's how we're gonna start the show off, and I hope you got something from that. But Bach, Travis Hunter won the Heisman. How did you feel about it? Were you a Genty guy or a Hunter guy?
Yeah, I probably would have voted for Genty, but
Yeah.
I'm not too upset. I think both of them, this is a good year for the Heisman competition. I think both of them are deserving, and in different years would have won it, separately, but there can only be one. They went with Travis Hunter. Again, I probably would have went with Jenny, but I'm not too upset about it.
Yeah, I think the Genty situation is interesting. We talked about it, me and Rico, if these guys were, if only they're like 1 year younger or 1 year older, right? Like, I mean, these, if Genty comes back and has the same year or even, close to the same year, he'll be a Heisman, no doubt. The average, usually we don't have these type of prospects each like in the same class. Like usually, a Cam Ward could get away with winning the Heisman this year.
Yeah.
Like he easily could have got away with that, 2 years ago or 3 years ago. Or like a Dylan Gabriel could have got away with being a second, a runner up, whatever. Like even in Dylan Gabriel's like pre-interview before the Heisman, like, they go to New York or whatever, and he's getting asked questions, and he's like, who do you think is going to win the Heisman? Because everyone knew it's not going to be him. Like, you know what I'm saying? But like usually, there's some type of, I think of the Lamar Jackson, the Derrick Henry days, the Kyler Murray, the Jalen Hurts, or no, I don't think Jalen Hurts won it, but Baker Mayfield, my bad. But I think about those guys, and I'm like, man, during those times, there was real toss-ups. Like, oh wow, he won it, he didn't win it. When Lamar won it his junior year, people were like, oh wow, I don't know, I didn't expect him to win it. But it's a prestigious award. Obviously, Caleb Williams won it the year before, and he went number one. I don't really know, draft wise for Travis Hunter. Like, I would expect, the top 3 picks. I mean, outside of that, I don't. Especially with this draft class, I don't really see, obviously Genty, I would expect him to go top 10, top 12 at the most. But I mean, definitely within like that top 10, top 8 slot. Those are phenomenal players. And even a guy like Cam Ward, that people are already saying that he's going to go to the Giants, and whether that's true or not, this is an interesting draft class. I wouldn't say it's too, definitely at the quarterback level, not too star-studded, I would say. You got your Cam Ward, you got your Shador Sanders, but even like a guy like Dylan Gabriel, you look at him, you're like, well, he's only like 5'10", 5'11", and how will his game translate to the NFL? So there's a bunch of question marks, especially with the draft class. But overall, for the Heisman, I think this is good for college football, though. I think it expands the competition, I think, a little bit more. We talked about it the other day. The first guy to climb Mount Everest, after he did it and everyone saw, it could be accomplished, it can be done, it can be executed. There's hundreds of thousands of people who have done it now, right? It just one person needs to do it. The person who broke the 5-minute mile, I believe, like one person needed to do it. And now I believe that, next year we're going to have a two-way player. I believe in the next 5 years, we're going to have more two-way players, and we're going to keep, it's going to keep evolving. I think Travis Hunter opened a door, and he's obviously the first one to walk through it. But I think many, many, many people in college football are going to walk through it. And, maybe it'll be a commonality to have, 10 years from now, there's going to be a commonality to have, high school players playing both ways a lot more, a lot frequently. And, people get drafted as a two-way player. Like, so, obviously you don't know what it looks like right now because, it just happened. It's fresh. But I will say, man, I think he really opened the door of possibilities and expanded people's, kind of, I would say just their mind and what their, the consciousness of what a football player really can be. I think, and for him, I was a Genty guy. I'm a Genty guy. And, for most of the show, I saw a lot of Genty in the comments. Like this past 2 weeks, we've thrown the question out to you guys, and it's kind of been what I've seen in the comments, at least, has been a lot of Genty, just based on, the running back position and all that demands and the amount of, yards, and even him almost touching Barry Sanders' record is pretty spectacular. But I would honestly love to hear what y'all have to say about that. And then a little bit more portal news. I'm trying to think. Prince Will, Danny Kalen, who else? Jamari Butler to LSU, Prince Will to Ole Miss, and Danny Kalen to Virginia. And this is and I believe James Williams will be committing here soon. These are some big time recruits, man, going some big time places. I wish them nothing but the best, especially a guy like Jamari. I wish them evenly the best, but I would just say, for Husker fans, I know you've been well acquainted with Jamari, and have, seen him progress throughout his years. I've got to play with him, and I think he's going to do great things at LSU. And I hope it's the right opportunity for him and what he wants in life and his goals and aspirations. And then with Prince Will, going to a place where, his brother is going to be a first-round draft pick from there. His brother is kind of just edge rusher DN, similar body type, probably a little bit heavier, of course. Obviously comes with probably the grown man strength, but plays that same position, gets to the quarterback. And I think that would fit Prince Will good, man. I think I said Prince Will well. I was gonna say that, but no, I think it will fit him good. What was your reactions to those three specific commitments?
Not overly surprised at Prince Will. I think we saw him as one of the top ranked guys in the portal. I know you guys have been talking about him. I think I saw flashes of him. Not so much this year, but the year before, where you could tell he's got some elite athleticism. So that makes a lot of sense. Like you said, the connection with Ole Miss. But the LSU for Butler is interesting, and it makes you kind of rethink. To a degree, when you look at where these guys are landing, is what Nebraska did have in their front seven. Guys that are, are going to be able to play at LSU and Ole Miss, and I know LSU kind of had a down year, but top 15 type of programs, and you think, man, so I don't know if this defense is ever going to get as much credit. I think they took the step back to a degree from the year before, so it's not as you're not as excited about it, but. Hopefully Nebraska is able to continue the success they have in that defense moving forward. But I don't know if it's ever going to get enough credit for what it was able to do with the athletes that it had.
Yeah, I think I'll say this about the transfer portal. It's an interesting thing when I go on Twitter, because a lot of the sources of information, that I get is, from Twitter or, from sources outside of there. But there's a few accounts I follow. I don't follow too many. But there's a few that give really good information, and then there's some that just do it for the clickbait, and that is what it is. But I guess I'm seeing some type of like I think people lose sight of what the portal should be used for. And I think we get into the kind of like the warped conception of just like getting guys that are from big schools and getting guys that, was a previous 5-star and, had, X amount of offers out of high school, but, he played 2 years here and didn't pan out. And then he went, so, what I'm saying? Like, I think that like strikes people up and is like, oh, like, this guy played at Bama, or this guy played at Louisville, or this guy played at whatever. And I'll tell you what, I think that the best portal approach from what I've seen and been around, because it is the locker room. So I've been in locker rooms with guys who played at big schools and guys that just played. We had Chris Kolarvik at nighttime, 6 p.m. in Lincoln on Sunday nights. Chris Kolarvik came from UNI, right? You compare Chris Kolarvik to, guys from XYZ school, top Power 5, like he going to test out the charts way better than those guys, and he ain't going to play better football, right? I think sometimes we get in this I would say battle, thinking that like because we bring in a bigger recruit that had a better ranking and more followers and this and this, that he's going to produce. I think the reason we go into the portal to get guys is for production. You don't go in for potential. You don't go in for because you can get potential with freshmen. Like you go recruit guys out of high school for potential. You go to the portal for production. You need immediate production. I don't understand the philosophy of going to the portal to bring up a guy. Maybe the only reason I'll say maybe is if you missed a guy in the recruitment process and now you have a chance to get him. And it's only been a year, right? It's only been 6 months of a semester at another school. Say we were in a battle with a guy and he went to Clemson, right? He went to Clemson out of high school, and it was, Nebraska was his top 3. We've been not in communication. That would be illegal. But we, since he went in the portal, we've been in communication. He would like to go here. Clemson wasn't the right fit, and we bring him in, right? But anything outside of that, if we go and get a guy who, bounced around here and here, man, I would rather, and I've said this and I'll continue to say this till it beats into the minds of the people, is that I'll continue to go to the portal and find a person that went to a lesser school but has production. I'll bring him in. Why? Because I can produce with him. He can produce for this team, and he can make the guys around him better. A guy that hasn't produced since high school, it's going to be hard to get him to that level of production. Because guess what? I'll say this. I know some people might not agree with it, but a person who got 1,000 yards at USF, right, or Florida Atlantic, or let me think, Idaho, or one of those schools, right, or Colorado State, that's still 1,000 yards and probably 75 receptions you still had to grab, right? And I will stand on the table for that, because I think moving forward, I don't think there's going to be a huge discrepancy of where a guy is at school wise and his production. So I guess what I'm trying to say is that the 5-star and the 1,000-yard receiver are going to be the same, right? I think Kurt Signetti has proved that. I think guys will continue to prove that. And I think bigger schools will understand that as well moving forward. And that's why I think the limbo of college football, of this team being so much better, back in 2017, and this team not being as good, it's going to change now, because they're going to see production in the transfer portal, and that's what's going to gravitate teams towards players and players towards teams.
Certainly is an interesting time. A lot of different strategies in the portal. There will be winners. There will be losers. We'll see how it goes. All right, let's take a quick break here in the locker room. We'll be back on 93.7 Ticket.
If you're a homeowner or a business owner, you have a lot of projects, and no one has an unlimited budget or time. Sunbelt Rentals makes all jobs less stressful, with no need to purchase large equipment or hire a crew. You can do it yourself with rentals and everything from aerators and power rakes for spring yard work to stump grinders, concrete mixers, tile saws, and more. Check out their inventory in Lincoln, north of Cornhusker Highway on 56th Street, or online at sunbeltrentals.com.
Ticket listeners know a dream team when they see one. At Applied Connective, we've been in the game for 20 years and have developed a team of world-class leaders in all things IT. From cybersecurity and Microsoft products to physical security, audio-video, infrastructure, business phone systems, and anything in between. We'll help you leverage technology to become your most secure, efficient, and profitable. Head to our website to check out real reviews and testimonials and sign up for a free tech consultation. We can show you where you might be vulnerable, inefficient, or overspending. It's a game changer, and it's totally free. Claim yours right now at appliedconnective.com.
I'm Steve Carper, and I'm here to tell you that there's never been a better time to buy flooring. Whether you need carpet, wood flooring, ceramic tile, vinyl, area rugs, or custom blinds, you got to come to O Street Carpet. With our 12-month interest-free financing, you can do one room or your whole house and leave your holiday budget intact. And with our huge in-stock selection, you can buy today and we'll install it right away. 1732 O Street. We want to make you a customer for life.
Attention all wing fans! Buffalo Wings and Rings has daily specials that will make you want to stop in on all days of the week. Kids eat free on Mondays, and on Tuesdays, enjoy 89-cent boneless or traditional wings at a price that makes the whole family happy. And come back on Wednesdays for $1.29 chicken tenders all day long. Get to Wings and Rings today at 68th and O or in Williamsburg Village.
Hello, Charlie Stone here, and with me on the line is Andy Goodyear of Honda of Lincoln. Andy, it's been a while since we talked. Hey, what's the latest news at Honda of Lincoln?
It has been a while, Charlie. I hope you're doing well. Happy Honda Days is in full swing, and we have over 200 new Hondas in stock right now, ready for our customers to drive home.
Wow, that's the most you've had in a long time.
It is, Charlie. And we have great lease offers and financing from just 0.9% APR.
Hey, Andy, let me tell them about the pre-owned. They have over 125 pre-owned and certified pre-owned to choose from, with financing from 3.9% APR available. Incredible deals on new and used during Happy Honda Days, or if you need tires on your current vehicle, Honda of Lincoln is your best choice. Maybe it's time you experience the best. The Honda of Lincoln way of doing business, 27th and Yankee Hill Road, or online at hondaoflincoln.com.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Your Lincoln forecast for today, we'll see mainly sunny skies, but it will be breezy. We'll see a high around 51. Tonight, mainly clear skies with light winds, a low around 28. And tomorrow, we'll see increasing clouds becoming mainly cloudy with light wind, and a high around 49. I'm meteorologist Kyle Fleck from 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
93.7 The Ticket is proud to provide listeners with daily opportunities to win contests and prizes on our airwaves, and would like to take this opportunity to remind you of a couple rules. All participants must be 21 or older and must wait 30 days after winning a prize before participating in another contest. Once you win, you have 30 days to pick up your prize at the K&TK Studios, 1040 O Street in Lincoln, or your prize will be forfeit. Thank you for participating in our contest, and thank you for listening to 93.7 The Ticket.
When you were a kid, clubs were cool. Robotics club and space club and stuff like that. But what do adults get? Book clubs and quilting clubs? Nah, forget that. How about margarita clubs and old-fashioned clubs? Get to Upside Bar and Lounge for the best clubs in town. Try all 10 varieties of Upside margaritas or old-fashions and take home a free souvenir glass. Grab the whole crew and pair it with Taco Night on Mondays or Whiskey Wednesdays. Upside Bar and Lounge at 29th and Pine Lake.
Automotive Solutions is Lincoln's one-stop shop for all your vehicle needs, from vinyl wraps to engine repair and maintenance. Automotive Solution offers fleet services as well as printing and graphic design for vinyl applications, plus installation of vinyl for boats, trucks, cars, and anything else you want wrapped. Perfection is their standard, and they never settle for less. Call today at 531-249-5600 or go to automotivesolutionslincoln.com to learn more. That's Automotive Solutions, 2040 Southwest 5th Street in Lincoln.
Are you a skilled mechanic looking for your next big opportunity? Constructors is hiring. We're looking for experienced mechanics to join our family-owned team. We offer competitive wages, great benefits, brand new service trucks, OEM-level diagnostic software, and career growth opportunities. Positions include lead and A-level mechanics for our shop and multiple field technicians. If you're driven and ready to grow with a company that's been around since 1908, apply today at constructorslincoln.com.
At Midwest Bank, they want to thank all the generous donors who helped make their 2024 Turkey Drive for Schools a success. Thanks to the generosity, they raised enough money to provide 153 families across 6 different schools in Lincoln with a full Thanksgiving meal. With your support, they made Thanksgiving Day for those families a little brighter. They want to wish everyone a Merry Christmas. Your community, your bank. Midwest Bank. Member FDIC.
Ryan, with all this red and all these people around, I'm still not seeing the tailgate.
Todd Spidell, former body shop owner, terrible driver.
We're getting close. Now, did you know with 3 locations in Lincoln and hundreds of years of combined technician experience, we can get Husker fans back on the road even quicker and safer after their tailgate mishaps? Oh, Todd, turn left right here.
Left or right?
Left, right here.
Right?
Well, you wait for the tow truck. I'm getting a hot dog.
Well, I guess while I'm waiting. All right, most recommended Eustace Body Shop.
Woohoo! Dude, you should be on American Idol.
You really think so?
No.
Accidents happen, even to Husker fans. If it happens to you, call Eustace Body Shop, where our customers send their friends.
The most recommended Eustace Body Shop. That's who we are.
League One Volleyball is coming to Omaha this January. Featuring Olympic medalist Jordan Larson and Justine Wong-Arantes, Love Omaha Volleyball is Omaha's newest pro team. The inaugural season will showcase some of the world's best volleyball players, from medalists to NCAA champions and international superstars, with the action kicking off on January 24th at the Liberty First Credit Union Arena. Visit LOVB.com for more information and to purchase tickets. Volleyball is the next major league.
You're listening to The Locker Room with Chancellor Brewington and Mikey Daniel. Brought to you by App Foundation Repair on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
We are back here in the locker room on 93.7 The Ticket. Myself, Jake Buckman, in studio alongside Chancellor Brewington. Let's get this second segment rolling, Chance.
Yes, sir. So we just, on the first segment, if you're watching live, you heard it. If you're not watching live, go back. Or if you're watching live and you just got on, go back. But we were just talking about, like, what type of guys Nebraska needs to get in the portal and what type of guys I think is the most effective guy. This is my personal opinion. And I've seen it work too many times. And that's why I said, I'll just summarize what I said is that you want guys that are already shown the production. And I think, in years past, when you look at the guys that came in and really did something, I think there's probably a couple, circumstances where my, philosophy doesn't work. But I mean, you look at a guy like Samar Toure. I mean, that's first and foremost. I mean, a guy like him, I'm trying to think of who else. I mean, Trey is an interesting one. Trey was behind, Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase, right? And I mean, you got what's his face, other LSU, Terrence Marshall. Like there, you got 3 first rounders. He's behind. He still did a little something. I mean, I think he had like 300 yards at LSU. In the year he actually played with like a kick return, right? So you saw some production, given the circumstances. That one's kind of an outlier. But then even a guy like a Marcus Washington, a guy who did something at Texas, right? A guy like Casey Thompson did something at Texas. And then the Billy Kemp situation, that's interesting. Maybe just size wise in the Big Ten didn't play out. There's a little injury there, of course, too. But O'Shawn, guy that did something somewhere, and I think those are the type of guys you need to get. And that being said, the receiver position for Nebraska, Jamal Banks is going to be leaving. Isaiah Nair is going to be leaving. Your X and Z receivers, there's going to be a wide open hole. And obviously you bank on the development of Ja'Cory Barney. But we've seen, and I think with this new receiver coach, we'll see it in the spring, of course. Thank goodness Ja'Cory's healthy going into spring, and knock on wood that's still going to happen throughout the bowl game, of course. But a guy that is visiting Nebraska is either he's here. I mean, he might be here to, I think he's here right now, actually, is Eric Rivers, standout wide receiver from Florida International University. He's 5'11", so on the shorter side. 62 receptions, 1,172 yards, 12 touchdowns. Finished top 5 in college football in receiving yards and touchdowns. If you watch the film, this guy's a real elusive guy, but runs really crisp routes. And I think that's one thing we need in the coming from the portal is a guy that runs crisp routes. We don't need, a speedster is awesome, right? We love a guy who can burn and, run a post route every once in a while. But 3rd and 5, 3rd and 6, when it's kind of out of that short yardage run, 3rd down, who can Raiola go to? Right. And I think that was the problem earlier in the year, midway through the year. We go to Ohio State, they blitz, they send the whole house, they send their house, their auntie house, their grandma house at us. And we got receivers trying to get open. They don't get open. Indiana does the same thing. They send the whole house at us and nobody could get open. I mean, they was boxed in. They was, Jamar Chase wears that 7-Eleven shirt because he's always open, right? We was closed. It's like your local soul food joint. If you ever go back home, I don't know. I don't know. From where I'm from, if you go back home, there's like the local soul food joints. Like they selective open. They open some days. They not open on Mondays. All of a sudden, the cook got sick. They gone for a week, right? So I think that's kind of how the receiver room was this year. I'm sorry, I was trying to make a joke there, but no, like I really think FIU, this guy from FIU can make a difference. Why can he make a difference? Because he can run routes and he's been productive. And I think that's what we need to surround Raiola with is productive guys that can run routes, experienced guys that know football, that don't need to be taught how to carry themselves, first of all, because I think that's a big problem. We get in this mode of getting the star player, but they don't know how to carry themselves on and off the field. And then you having to babysit them and do X, Y, Z with them and teach them how to show up to class, do all that stuff. That's not what you want, especially coming out of the portal. And you're going to pay these guys good money. I'm sure he's going to get a healthy amount of money from Nebraska and be expected to go out and perform the way he did at FIU. And I think a guy like this will honestly excel with Raiola. The smaller body types, I think is a better fit for Raiola. I'll say this. Why? Because they just a little bit of more separation. Obviously, if you can get a 6'4" guy that separates at a high level and a high clip, then yeah, you scored. But I think the way football is going, not only like college football, but football based on route concepts, based on just, philosophy of offensive coordinators, the movement of things, the way, you motion your X receiver just as much as you motion your slot receiver and your Z receiver. And, you can do all these different things. I think the one way it's moving is that the receiver position is getting a little bit shorter. I think now it's kind of around that like 6'1" to 6'2", but like 6'1" and 5'11" range of guys like a Jamar Chase, that 6 foot guy. What's his name? Malik Neighbors with the Giants. Guys like that. Even Justin Jefferson, like 6'1" and a half, 6'2". Guys like that, I believe that's like the new movement of college football. Travis Hunter is a perfect example. He's about 6 foot, 6'1", kind of in that range where you can work on the outside, you can work on the inside. It causes a bunch of matchup problems, and guys that are elusive with the football in their hands and comfortable with that. I don't know if it's a thing where like you get guys, these receivers like all play running back in not in maybe in high school, but like in youth ball, because it seems like a lot of the guys that are going into the league can carry the football really, really well. And I think that's something that separates maybe the receivers of old where you kind of get your 6'4" lengthy guys that can, run, can run most of the tree. But now the tree is so different now. Like you talk about the route tree and running 1 through 9, or 0 through 9, you run your hitch to your go route. Now it's like, man, we got a post curl, we got a zig route, a zag route, a Colorado route. We got a speed out at this depth, at 10 at 5, 10, and 15 yards. Others, you got all these different concepts. You can thank Andy Reid for some of these. But now our influence in college, and you're just being asked to run, a plethora of routes. And I think that's why we're seeing the production of receivers go up in this kind of like 6 foot to like 5'11" to 6'1" category. But I think Eric Rivers will be a good get for Nebraska if we can get him. If not, get another guy like this. And there's so many out there. You got to get the right guy.
Well, and it's interesting too, because for years, Nebraska's kind of, and especially in the Frost years, they had kind of smaller receiving cores. And, I know a lot of people were looking to add some height to get the, a 6'4" guy that can fly down the field. And that's what Nebraska did. And Banks and Nair, they got them. They led Nebraska in receiving yards, each of them, Banks with 508 yards, Nair with 455 yards. And so that's why I see a lot of people, at least, some people are starting to note, okay, now it seems like Nebraska's room is filling up with 5'11" guys, to
Right.
6 foot guys, and think that may be a problem, that you don't have as many big bodied wide receivers. Do you think that Nebraska needs to specifically target some big body guys to go along with those guys, or can you run out most of the time, even in 4 wide with 5'11", 6 foot guys?
Yeah, I don't know. Just the way I've seen offenses work. I think it's cool to have a bigger guy, but if you just look at like production, and especially the way Raiola wants to play and the way I envision him playing, I think he needs guys that can separate. I think he needs guys that can get open. Now, if a 6'4" guy can get open, kudos, but those are rare. I think with the 6'4", they depend on their size and their strength and their high point ability a little bit more than they depend on their route running and separation. I think a smaller guy gets open a lot more. Of course, the 50-50 balls, they might be less likely to win those, but you counteract the 50-50 balls with getting open, and now they're not 50-50, they're more like 90-10s, right, or 95-5s. But I think that's kind of where I'm at with the transfer portal, especially the receiver situation. Particularly, I think if we go out and get guys that can win one-on-one matchups, Raiola will have a fantastic year, and it won't really depend on how well the O-line plays and how well this, and have to count in 1,000 other factors, right? I don't really, at that point, if receivers win, it doesn't matter who's the offensive coordinator. But go ahead, Bob.
Yeah, one name people are don't forget about, is Demetrius Bell in that wide receiver room, as well as he comes back off that injury. All right, let's go ahead and take our final break here. We'll be back with more on The Locker Room on 93.7 The Ticket.
Attention all wing fans! Buffalo Wings and Rings has daily specials that will make you want to stop in on all days of the week. Kids eat free on Mondays, and on Tuesdays, enjoy 89-cent boneless or traditional wings at a price that makes the whole family happy. And come back on Wednesdays for $1.29 chicken tenders all day long. Get to Wings and Rings today at 68th and O or in Williamsburg Village.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Your Lincoln forecast for today, we'll see mainly sunny skies, but it will be breezy. We'll see a high around 51. Tonight, mainly clear skies with light winds, a low around 28. And tomorrow, we'll see increasing clouds becoming mainly cloudy with light winds and a high around 49. I'm meteorologist Kyle Fletcher from 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
It's that special time of year again with bowl games galore, ugly Christmas sweater parties, and way too much eggnog. And like clockwork, you still haven't bought any gifts yet. Great news! Your procrastination headquarters this year is at Tailored Life in Bennett. Avoid the long lines in Lincoln stores and head down Highway 2 to Bennett. Just a 20-minute drive, and their staff will help you pick out the perfect gift for your mom, wife, or significant other. Procrastination has an answer this year at Tailored Life in Bennett.
This holiday season, give the gift of good taste with a gift card from Valentino's. During double discount days, double your discount from $5 to $10 free with a $50 gift card purchase. Valentino's handcrafted pizza has been a family favorite for generations, and our gift cards make the perfect holiday gift. And right now, during gift card double discount days, when you buy $50 in gift cards, get a $10 gift card free. Happy holidays from Valentino's.
Rosie Sports Bar and Grill, open for lunch and dinner at 1501 Center Park Road.
Hey everyone, Lance here with Black Label. We specialize in creating custom crafted decks, pergolas, patio covers, and more. Plus, our retractable screens, gazebos, and patio enclosures create the ultimate outdoor retreat. With over 50 years of combined experience, we're not just builders, we're creators of unforgettable memories.
Call them today at 402-730-6333 or visit blacklabelbuilt.com for a free consultation.
Let's turn your backyard dreams into reality.
Black Label Built, built to serve, built to last. League One Volleyball is coming to Omaha this January. Featuring Olympic medalist Jordan Larson and Justine Wong-Arantes, Love Omaha Volleyball is Omaha's newest pro team. The inaugural season will showcase some of the world's best volleyball players, from medalists to NCAA champions and international superstars, with the action kicking off on January 24th at the Liberty First Credit Union Arena. Visit lovb.com for more information and to purchase tickets. Volleyball is the next major league.
Hi, it's Joel Norman, the voice of your Lincoln Stars hockey team. Tune in to 93.7 The Ticket to hear the latest on the Stars with myself, head coach Rocky Russo, and special player guests.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Koppel Chevrolet GMC, and the holiday sales event is now underway with unbelievably low interest rates and huge discounts on both our new and pre-owned inventory. Right now, we're offering 0% interest rates or $13,000 off select new models. These are the absolute biggest discounts of the year. You heard right, 0% interest rates or $13,000 off select new models. So please stop on in or check us out online at cobblecars.com. All deals with approved credit, must trade, and Costco.
Looking for a financial partner that truly makes a difference? Modern Woodman is a member-owned fraternal financial services organization. We can help you plan for all stages of life, from protection to saving to retirement. We also offer member benefits, social activities, and volunteer opportunities to help your family and community.
I'm Sean Erickson, your Modern Woodman representative in Lincoln. Call me at 402-483-6515 to start the conversation.
Modern Woodman of America, touching lives, securing futures.
You're listening to The Locker Room with Chancellor Brewington and Mikey Daniel. Brought to you by F Foundation Repair on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
We are back here in the locker room on 93.7 The Ticket. Myself, Jake Balkoven, and Chancellor Brewington waiting to give another one of his book reviews. So let's go ahead and get to it. It's time for a Chancellor Brewington book review.
Hello, cultured Nebraskans. Sit back, relax, and listen to Chancellor Brewington give you his honest review of his latest reading. This is Brew's Book Review on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome to Brew's Book Review. Today we got As a Man Thinketh by James Allen. This copy right here, actually, fun fact, it's from 1983. 1983, much older than I am. Bach, is that older than you?
That is, yeah, 7 years older.
Older than you, man. But yeah, this book is I would say a staple for I would say humanity. But no, I really think this is a staple for everyone that wants to implore and wants to explore the powers of the mind and just understand the reservoirs of unlimited potential within them. And this is a starting point. I think this is a starting point. I think this book opens up a new curiosity. It definitely did for me of what the mind is and how to see it. Because I think sometimes we get this concept of the mind being the brain, and that can cause a lot of confusion. But this book likens the mind to a garden, and that if you keep the garden unkept, and weeds will grow, and things you don't want there will have to grow because you don't keep it well. But if you plant good seed, good fruit will grow, and that fruit inside of there has seeds, and it will just be a continual process of the good that you desire sprouting up. And in this book, the last chapter on serenity just talks about the calmness of mind, and how that is what we should be striving for, is the calmness of mind. And this is a fantastic book. It's super short, only 65 to 70 pages, but it's packed with a bunch of power. But like I said, I can't really say too much on it because I think everyone will interpret this book differently. But I will say, if someone wants to expand their knowledge on the mind, but also it's kind of like a poetic book on just how to live a better life. And I think our thoughts obviously create things, and to understand that power is to understand that you're the master of your fate and the captain of your soul, which this book talks about. And for someone to say that they don't control their environment is just ignorance. That they don't control their circumstances is just ignorance. And I'm not saying you're dumb, but I am saying that you just probably haven't been brought up to speed with the information that this book provides. So if you want to be brought up to speed, read this book, and you will probably start on a journey of understanding yourself a little bit more, and understanding your surroundings and the people you hang around too. Just understand how everyone thinks as a collective. And then you'll start to see your surroundings change, like it did for me after reading this book. So as a man think of James Allen, I can't really give it a 9 or some out of 10, because I think every time I read it, it changes for me and I get something new from it. Because it kind of, the first time you read it, you see something new. And then I think the second time you read it, it kind of like shows something inside of you that's always been there, but you haven't seen it. If that makes any sense. But that's all I got for the locker room today. I appreciate everyone listening to me and Bach, man. We'll be back tomorrow, 1 to 2 p.m. every day of the week. Well, every weekday, I should say, Monday through Friday. You're listening to the locker room on 93.7 The Ticket.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Koppel Chevrolet GMC, and the holiday sales event is now underway with unbelievably low interest rates and huge discounts on both our new and pre-owned inventory. Right now, we're offering 0% interest rates or $13,000 off select new models. These are the absolute biggest discounts of the year. You heard right, 0% interest rates or $13,000 off select new models. So please stop on in or check us out online at koppelcars.com. All deals with approved credit, must trade, and Costco.
Automotive Solutions is Lincoln's one-stop shop for all your vehicle needs, from vinyl wraps to engine repair and maintenance. Automotive Solution offers fleet services as well as printing and graphic design for vinyl applications, plus installation of vinyl for boats, trucks, cars, and anything else you want wrapped. Perfection is their standard, and they never settle for less. Call today at 531-249-5600 or go to automotivesolutionslincoln.com to learn more. That's Automotive Solutions, 2040 Southwest 5th Street in Lincoln.
And commercial structures safe for more than 50 years. From a simple fire extinguisher to full fire suppression systems, Lincoln has trusted General Fire and Safety to provide top-of-the-line products, installation, and maintenance. If you're starting a new business in a brand new building, call on General Fire and Safety to help you plan a fire safety system that fits the specific needs of your business, employees, and customers. Call General Fire and Safety today at 402-261